I want to talk about three things that are on my mind recently. Let me just get the YouTube back up because there we go. So I want to talk about the Mueller report. Something's been on my mind lately. Um, I've been trying to have guests on the show. It looks like Eric wanted to be on the show right the last second there. I didn't really plan that out. Or what are we saying, Eric? We have to start comparing Kim Fox to Blagojevich. I remember hearing about Blagojevich. I was too young for that. I know there's a controversy, but that's about it. I could look into that in a second. I'm just gonna read you first. Rod sold a Senate seat. I assume you're saying Rod Rosenstein. Fox sold pardons for violent criminals from her office. Same thing. Kim Fox is just Rod Blagojevich with the haircut. Same Chicago style politics. It's all about the Benjamins. I can say that since I'm a Jew. Oh, you're funny. I mean, I guess, yeah, if you're part Jewish, you can get away with saying that. But that's the thing. I don't remember the details of Blagojevich, but I think it was someone who got someone off, similar to Smollett, Rod Blagojevich, governor of Illinois. So I'm assuming he helped someone get off with something. But that's what Kim Fox did. Um, Wait, what are you're talking about Smollett, man? I'm not even talking about Smollett. You got me talking about Smollett. I wasn't even going to talk about that. I was going to talk about Mueller. I was going to talk about AOC's deal. We could talk about Smollett on another show. I'm gonna talk about Mueller. I'm gonna talk about AOC. That's what I want to her new deal failing because I just want to get what I want out of the way. We can save that. We can save that for a show in the future, you and I. That way you'll be on the Skype call. So Mueller, I pulled up this meme because I thought it was hilarious. It says libs talking about the Mueller report for 2 years. And if you don't know, these pictures are from the Fire Festival, which became an insanely hilarious meme. I'll pull up in a second here. But the Mueller report is the FEMA tents. So I'll just say it out loud for a second, and then I'm going to pull it up on Wikipedia so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But to anyone who has no idea what Fire Festival was, this is a rapper, J Rule. I don't know how it's pronounced. I never listened to his raps. But him and this one guy, forget his name, but he like owned Fire Media Corporation, and they're like, we're gonna take everyone to Bahamas, and like J Rule, whatever how you call his rap name. He's like, you come down, we're gonna have everything with VIP treatment. You're gonna eat lobster. He was just like making it seem really cool that their venue was gonna be amazing, that the set list is gonna be amazing, that it's gonna be the best thing worth going to, and it's in the Caribbean. That's where they like shot their video. But the thing is, apparently nothing was there. There's no lodging. That there's like FEMA tents, like mattresses strewn about, like completely manicured lawns and everything. It was not what they said. So I was just saying, this is a funny meme because this is the precise scenario we have with the Mueller report. There was so much hate, so much there's so much memeing comedy, but there's also like so much anger behind some of the discussions had over Trump's Russia collusion, this whole Russia Gate thing. And to me, I just think it's hilarious because it's like I have had a lot of friends say some stuff about like siding with Trump, and it's like, first off, I don't really side with Trump that much. I'm siding with Trump off of like the pushback he's getting. Like, to me, Trump's not a hero. He's like a hero because of the villains that are coming at him, and he happens to be president. Like, I don't think people realize that the more like hate they throw at Trump, and he like takes it gracefully or at least tactfully and respectfully, that I'm just like, that's my president. Because like Obama didn't even have that. He like was softballed the entire time. And like any left-leaning person, liberal, Democrat, whatever you want to consider yourself, if you like have seen Obama and seen his press conferences, complete softballs. It's like they're playing catch over there. Like, it's like batting practice with Trump. It's a freaking war zone, and like you're literally he's embargoing what's his name? I forgot. The one reporter, Jim Acosta, that he's not even allowed to play anymore in the little war game they're having. It's hilarious, and I just think that like finally this whole strewn out thing, and I even posted another tweet Shoot, it's gonna be up here somewhere. Or no, was it that video? No. Hold up. I found it earlier. Oh yeah, it's this. Mark Dice posted it. This is a...
Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti, is laying down the law. And is he really thinking about running for president?
Well, Michael Avenatti.
He's Donald.
This is more just about Avenatti because
is because of your presence.
this guy got arrested.
Has been reunited with his mother.
But that's the thing, is it's like, I'm showing this because it's not some gotcha thing. It's not like, look, Avenatti. It's just funny to me that like CNN got caught hyping this dude Avenatti and the whole Russia probe and all this stuff, and in the end, he's like getting arrested. I don't think that looks. It's like people who got behind him. That's fine. Now let's like laugh about it together. It's like, that's just a ridiculous scenario, and it's funny that we have to be here. I'm like really hopeful after all this. I part of my Strangers in Chicago segment at the end, there's some ladies who are really doom and gloom. I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna move on to the next point. Is the Green New Deal failing? Is there've been so many like memes and posts and all these people talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and this literally being her transcendent legislation. And the funny thing is, I don't think people understand, first off, how government works. That you have the House of Representatives, which is what AOC is, which there's 547 last I remember, which I'm probably wrong because it changes. But it's based off how many districts there are in the country, versus the Senate, which there are 100. That's why there's 50 states. That's why Puerto Rico doesn't have a Senate seat. It's a very important thing. That's a whole nother thing to talk about. But if you understand our government, you know that each state gets 2 senators. And that's why the Republicans currently have Senate control, and it has to pass, aside from a whole bunch of circumstances, most involving war, ironically. The Senate approves of most things. The Senate isn't more about drafting legislation. That's for the representatives to do. That's where all they come together, and that's where it gets more localized, and that's the way it's supposed to work. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is essentially one voice out of 500 some from the Bronx, and she's like, I'm a waitress, and I think we should do this. And literally, this is her party and the Republican Party, which has the 57 to 43 majority, because there's 100 votes, and it failed 0 to 57. So normally, let's say if everyone's just voting party lines, this would be 57 to 43, but it's not. It's 0 to 57 with 43 of the Democrats in Senate voting present. They didn't vote no, or they didn't even vote yes. All the Republicans voted no at 57. They voted present. They didn't even vote for it. They knew that it was going to lose, first off, that they didn't even bother to vote in favor of it. That's huge. Whether casual political people who pay attention know or not, this is like a Civil War shot for the Democratic Party. I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but it's kind of what it is, in the sense that the Democrats that are there are essentially saying that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not with us, because the senators are the ones who have been there. They're the ones who have more sway. Hillary Clinton was a senator, I believe. She was she? I don't know. Senator Clinton, right? Yeah. Clinton. First Lady. I'm pretty sure she was a senator. Yeah, United States Senator from New York, where she's not from. She's that's where she lives, but she is a carpetbagger because she's serving with Chuck Schumer. Go figure. Yeah, they won the Senate election of 2000. The whole point of me bringing this up is Hillary Clinton had a significant role. Obama, I also believe, was a senator. Senator Obama. So AOC is not even in the same weight class as these two already. Yeah. Senator from Illinois. Which is funny because I live in Chicago now. And that does tie into what Eric was talking about, the Jussie Smollett stuff. Chicago is very corrupt. And the funny thing is I'm gonna jump back to what's Eric saying. We can talk a little bit about it now. We can maybe talk in more detail on a show. But Kim Fox was an aide for Michelle Obama, I believe. And here we go, Eric. And Hillary Clinton ran as a conservative Democrat for U.S. Senate in New York in 2000. Yeah, I remember that. The thing is, if you look back in 2000, I was actually only 8 years old. So I remember all this stuff happening. And actually, my dad, I watched the news with my dad all the time. I didn't understand everything going on, but I listened to everything my dad said. And I did pay attention. I remembered who was who. The thing is, I just didn't have the life experience at the time to know, what it actually means in like lifestyle practice to be a conservative versus being a liberal. And that to me is the real semantic change, because I know a lot of people who are liberal who say they're conservative and vice versa. But that's a whole nother argument. I don't even want to get into that can of worms. But so Chicago, the whole point of me bringing this up was the whole Senate idea. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a representative. She brought up this legislation that apparently was only 5 pages. I haven't even had a chance to read it, but apparently if it's 5 pages, I can read it, is what I heard on Twitter. But the whole point I was saying was that this is a shot across the bow for a civil war of the Democratic Party, because there's a lot of young liberals, progressives, who are siding with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the whole Justice Democrat movement, which is they're literally trying to take over the Democratic Party. And this is the pushback. This is the official 43 Democrat senators saying present and not saying yay in favor of this vote. So I think I made my point. I'm not going to drive that home completely. That's the whole point, is I'm trying to keep this a little shorter, keep it direct and to the point, and then maybe having more longer-winded stuff with people. So, and then the last thing, I actually already touched on it with that video, is the bonus round of federal prosecutors in New York announced the arrest of Michael Avenatti on charges related to an alleged $20 million extortion scheme targeting Nike. So I have no idea what that's about, really. It has nothing to say about the scenario that came with Trump, him accusing Trump. He is perfectly allowed to go after Trump. He did his best and nothing stuck. In fact, I believe he got his client stuck with the bill. So that doesn't look good on him, nor does the fact that he might have tried to extort money out of Nike, aside from making a very, very cringeworthy presidential bid that was dead on arrival. So that's Avenatti. And then I just want to talk about some people that I met today, because this is what's unique about my segment. I get to talk about stuff, and I live in Chicago, and it's kind of being in a bit of a interesting place where I can run into a lot of randomness as far as the people I run into. So the first I want to talk about is I had to stop at Walgreens today. Not a big deal, but I was just going through the section. I had to get a charger because I left my charger back at home in Cleveland. I just got back to Chicago. But going to get my charger at Walgreens, I was walking past a couple ladies. I think they were looking at makeup or something. Didn't matter, but they were laughing really hard, and it was an awkward laugh. That's what got my attention, so I started eavesdropping. And they were talking about how, I eavesdrop. People watching eavesdropping, it's fun as hell, especially in the city. Just pop your headphones in like you are listening to music. Not. Regardless, that's my little trick. They started talking. They're like, well, I can't even watch my shows. I wasn't even paying attention to which daily show they were watching on one of the network shows. But they're like, I can't watch my network television channel, whatever the hell show it was, because the news might be on. First off, I'm like, how do you accidentally watch the news? Don't you know what time the show comes on? But beside the point, I was laughing at that already in my head. And then they're like, well, the news might be on. It's been so negative lately. And the funny thing is, that's the whole point of the points I've just brought up, is it's all this is funny. It's funny to me that all these people are getting exposed with their pants down, being like, Russia, we just need to go to war. And it's literally all of this is coming to a conclusion, really, because it's now we can assume that our president is simply a businessman from our country who wants our country to do well. Can we all agree that Russia is not a big deal anymore? How about we just actually talk about America and what we're going to do there? Because I'm trying to listen and I can't because of the fever pitch of yeah, Trump. It's that like that meme of the lady screen or whatever person thing, whatever, I don't even know that what that was with the hat on, that's screaming at the sky. It's like that has become a fever pitch literally across like all media. There's always just, it's like white noise or just anger that it just doesn't need to be there. Um, like comedy can be more cutting than that. Like the problem is I see it as like collective identitarianism. It's like the more groups I can fit in, the more I can be offended, and being offended is something that is worthwhile in our society now. So I've found it's like find really good niche networks of competent, smart people, and you're gonna be in a good at least social circle to be in. And that's what Twitter's been fun for me. Is I know Eric, you're watching. Is like the racial realism thing. I just want to let you know I'm not bought into it. You're teaching me every time we watch, but I don't know exactly what I believe quite yet. I started listening to some of what Owen's been talking about, and I don't want to go after you while you're on chat and I'm recording a video because that's not fair. I just want to say the racial realism stuff I'm kind of up in the air about, and that's kind of everything that I'm kicking around. Whenever I have these videos, whenever I talk about things, a lot of people get upset that I'm having the conversation. It's like, if the issue that I'm having the conversation you're attributing to me, maybe we should look into why people are getting upset about having conversations in the first place. I think that's one thing that you and I agree on. It's like, let's have a conversation about this racial realism stuff, even though it's a little awkward, even though it makes people feel uncomfortable. Even if I end up disagreeing with everything you say, I still want to have the conversation. Not saying that's the point. I agree with a lot of, especially that given the history of what you know of Ron Paul. I have liked a lot of what he did. I'm just assuming that we agree on a lot of other stuff. But yeah, the whole point of that is just saying all these political things that made these women so upset. They're like, I can't even watch my network television because I might accidentally watch the news. And that's a good thing to me. Like, I laughed out loud and they didn't even know why I laughed. But I was like genuinely happy because I'm like, these women realize that they can't watch their like packaged entertainment, which I don't know. I can't watch like network television anymore. To me, it just drives me nuts. But they're like, I don't get my toy with the Happy Meal if I've got to eat my food. And they realize that the well is tainted. To me, that's a good thing. It's like, people, if you can't watch nightly television, what are you going to do? You're going to grab a book? What are you going to call up your someone you love? Are you going to create something? You know, write a song? Do something that'll influence a lot of people? That's what they don't want. I mean, whatever the they is, or the people that are cashing in off centralized entertainment. I feel like a complete hippie now, but that's big part of what's been going on with a lot of the ways I've been able to get some of this information. Is it's people like me making stuff, and they've been doing it for longer. I'm starting to realize that I'm picking up on things pretty quick, and it's because I follow a lot of people that look into stuff as much as I do. And the funny thing is it's a very thick-skinned group of people, because if you ever make a mistake, or God forbid someone thinks you're lying, you just get ragged on. And you got to keep it keeps everyone intellectually honest. It's not a matter of can you get the most likes. Is what you're saying, is what you're talking about real? It's all about truth. That's kind of what I've been looking for. And so I'm kind of tapped out. I'm a bit tired. I just want to get through those points. So I know there's a bit of a delay. Eric, if there's something you want to say, I know I addressed you directly. I don't want to leave you hanging without me saying something, but I was going to play a video to end the show. But we can maybe Thursday or Friday, if you want, we can do a show. I'm working only in the morning, so I can do anything in the evening. Not to put you on the spot, but yeah, I'm just gonna do This is a video I thought was funny. Owen Benjamin, he does his live streams, and that's the thing. Eric, you'd mentioned, no, show's been great. Cool, that's what I was looking for. The Ballad of the Bi Girl is the Soy Boy parody. Owen Benjamin, and that's the thing. To me, Owen Benjamin is more I like what he does culturally more than what he does like conspiratorially. Like, I go for the entertainment, I stay for the conspiracies. that should be a tagline for a show. It really should. I just thought of that now. But he did a song because he's a pianist. I think he wrote it himself with the help of the people on the stream, actually, which is why I want to do a stream like this myself. He wrote the song Soy Boy, and it's about men who grovel and use underhanded tactics to win the approval of other people. And it's very underhanded, and that's why some people call it soy. It's the people who get soy lattes and, just virtue signal how great they are, show themselves recycling, not because they actually care for the environment, but because it's learned behavior that if you keep doing it, you're going to keep getting that dopamine spike of people that appreciate what you're doing. And that's where it's weird irony. But this is a girl who did the bi girl, which is like the girl who is still heterosexual but is going into her homosexual phase, which is very interesting because I'm gonna turn my mic off to end this video, but I think midway through or something, it shows before and after of girls becoming feminists. And I looked into it, and it was actually worse than I thought. There's some really interesting, like, there's one of the transformations, like girls that were, pretty, and I feel bad when I say pretty because I know that a feminist who might watch this would be instantly like, well, she's pretty and the one on the right too. And I'm like, no. Like, I'll put it this way. If that was my sister and she's like, Michael, do I look pretty? I would say, Natalie, no, you don't look pretty there. Like, that's, to me, that's the metric, is like, I love my sister. I don't love strangers. I'm going to, in a heartbeat, say, no, you don't look pretty. Like, my sister, that's a little more taxing. And if she underwent such a transformation, I would still love her. But these like feminist transformations of girls, they think that like these I don't know if it's like the transvestite movement or if it's they're just in liberal in general, it's like I can warp beauty to a point where you can't go, and because I get to enjoy it on my own, it's better than yours. Or I that's why I don't know where it's like what the goal is, but there's this destruction of beauty, and Owen's gotten into it before, but it's shaving the sides of the head, and it's not a matter of that being like objectively not beautiful or whatever. Like, I think what it means is that there's a lot of people who still prefer traditional forms of beauty. Like the Sistine Chapel, it doesn't matter, like that's a Catholic church, but a Muslim who, whatever you want to think about there being a crusade at one point, how about that, can still go into the Sistine Chapel and go, wow, that is just aesthetically beautiful. Or just even a lot of the Islamic architecture from the Golden Age. Some of their architecture is the most amazing I've ever seen. I could pull that up, but that'd be a whole nother video. Why am I going on a tangent about this anymore? Oh, I was talking about feminism. That was a rabbit hole out of nowhere. But the bi girl, she just did a song about the soy boy, and it's the girl who's becoming lesbian. The soy boy is the guy who's becoming a weakling, a guy that gets bullied, as someone who used to get bullied and refuses to do that anymore. So here's the song. It's been a great show. Like your input, Eric. Hopefully we'll have you on either tomorrow or Friday.
There is a girl who's afraid of real men. She's proud of the fact she'll never shave her legs or armpits again. She's a perpetual student, which means she's unwilling to work. Says she hates the government, but she enjoys all the free perks. Her favorite favorite hobby is protesting in the streets. She marches for all women unless they disagree with her opinions. She doesn't believe in the traditional family. She's had her heart broken by a couple of men, and now she's a lesbian. She's a bi girl. She hates the world. Trump makes her her, 'cause she's so bi, a victim and oppressed. She's horribly dressed and she's Bernie obsessed. She thinks her cat is bi, she's non-binary. She's got alibis and LGBTQAI. She's a bi girl, she's violent, she's a binosaur, and she's awful to be around.
You adjust the microphone as you told, man.
She shouts her abortion, hashtag #MeToo, I'm with her. She's cool with killing babies, but eating meat is murder. She claims she's 127th American Indian. Cried when Trump got elected, but thinks he won't get elected again. She's a proud mom to about 7 or 8 cats, and her most prized possession is her underwater self-knitted pussy hat. She believes in unicorns, but cis white males should die. She thinks we actually went to the moon, but it happened in July. She's a bi girl, she hates the world. Trump makes her hurl. She sleeps with girls, she's so bi, she can't decide